Welcome back, everybody, to another video. And in this one, we'll go over the MLB for Sunday, September 1st. And as you can see, the opening odds are on the screen. And we're going to start with Milwaukee versus Cincinnati. Milwaukee starts at minus 130, Cincinnati at plus 110. Currently, it is minus 130 and plus 110. And also, you see this minus 146 spread for the underdog Reds. That is significant because this money line is not big enough. So I would definitely consider the Reds on the spread for sure, as well as on the money line. That plus 110 hits quite often in baseball when a money line is an underdog, that plus 110. 41% going with Cincinnati, 59% going with Milwaukee on the money. That is 96% going with the Milwaukee spread at that plus 122. I would go against the public on that one. Cubs versus Nationals, minus 130 plus 110, the same thing for this game. Minus 146 for the odds. Let me scroll down. And as you can see, it's pretty much identical to this game here outside of the totals. Where is the money going in this one? Cubs 56%, 44% going with Washington on the money, 54% going with Washington on the money here. So pretty much about even, which makes this somewhat of a toss-up game because there's no real huge favorites other than really sizable advantages for the bookies outside of this one, which is close to that minus 150 sweet spot. The Washington Nationals on the spread, and they are getting 54%. I would go with Washington on this one. However, I would go with the Cubs on the ML. Once again, these are my early picks. My later picks may vary, may change. St. Louis Cardinals versus New York Yankees. Minus 210 for the Yankees. Minus minus 118. We'll stick with the higher number on the spread. The underdog Cardinals are not that valuable on the spread in this one and compared to these other games. Minus 118 is not that high, but this 210 is. Let's see where the money is going. Of course, the Yankees are huge favorites in this one. The Yankees look good across the board in that game. 81% going with the under. Let's see where the money is going. Well, where the cost is going with that. Dead even at 110. I would probably join the public on this one and go with the under 9. Yankees across the board, though. Red Sox versus Detroit Tigers. Minus 118 to plus 100. Somewhat of a pick'em game, but the Red Sox are clearly a favorite. Minus 160 is the cost for the underdog Tigers on the spread. Let's see where the money is going. 68% going with the Tigers and only 20% going with the Tigers on the spread at that minus 160. I would fade the public on that one, on the spread for sure. The minus 160 is key. Minus 160, however, I would go with the Red Sox on the ML and go with the under 9.5 at that minus 124. If it's over minus 120, go with that most of the time unless the money just doesn't make sense to go with that. Always pay attention to where the money is going. Pittsburgh versus Cleveland. Plus 122 for Pittsburgh, minus 144 for Cleveland. Pirates are minus 178 on the spread. Let's see where the money is going. 97% going with Cleveland on the spread, 70% going with them on the money line. Huge favorites on the money currently. However, I would fade them and go with Pittsburgh. That minus 178 is super high. Super high. And that's just hard to go against. It's hard for the bookies to go against. And let's see, on the money line, how low is the my plus 122 minus 144? I would go with Cleveland in that one. However, I'm leaning toward Pittsburgh. I'm leaning toward Pittsburgh on the ML. Definitely going with them on the spread. As it currently stands, I'm going with Cleveland only because they're near that 150. If they go down any further, go with Pittsburgh. If they go down below that 140, go with Pittsburgh. Fade the public on the money line in that one. All right, San Diego versus Tampa Bay, minus 132 for San Diego, plus 112 for Tampa Bay, minus 154 for Tampa Bay on the spread, plus 1.5. They are underdogs on the spread. Only 5% going with Tampa Bay. 5% going with Tampa Bay on the money line as well. 88% going over the 7. I'm sticking with the under 7 in that one. Too many people going against it. And I'm sticking with the, let's see, San Diego huge favorites over 95%. As it stands, I'm fading the public clearly. I'm fading the public. That minus 154 is super high at a cost. If this cost continues to increase, definitely go with Tampa Bay. Definitely go with Tampa Bay. That's a huge percentage getting that plus 128 currently. I'm going with Tampa Bay across the board. Kansas City versus Houston, plus 140 to minus 166. Minus 156 for Kansas City as an underdog on the spread. Let's see where the money is going. Kansas City 51%. Well, Houston 51% on the spread. 61% for Kansas City on the ML. And in this one, I'm going with Kansas City. Hold on. Let's see where the money is. Houston's getting a lot of percentage of the bets. Huge percentage, but not a lot of percentage of the money. Not a lot of percentage of the money. Let's see. I am going with Kansas City. I'm going with Kansas City across the board in that one. And I'm going under at that minus 105, the under 8.5. Toronto versus the Blue Jays, Minnesota Twins. Well, Toronto Blue Jays versus the Minnesota Twins. Minus 196, huge favorites in baseball for the Twins. Minus 134 on the spread for the Blue Jays. 99% going with the Twins on the spread. 100% currently going with the Twins on the ML. You would have to fade the public in this one. You would think you would have to fade the public in this one, but I'm joining the public on the money line. I'm going with them at this minus 196. I'm fading them on the spread. I'm going with Toronto on the spread in that one. I'm going over the 8.5. High scoring game, but close. All right, Mets versus White Sox. Minus 176 to plus 148. And minus 114 currently for the underdog White Sox on the spread. Under is at minus 122. The over is even. Over 8.5. I'm going with the under minus 122. New York Mets. Let's see. Scroll down. 98% going with the Mets and 97% going with the Mets on the spread. 98 on the money line. Minus 176 to minus 105. I'm actually joining the public on this one. I am joining the public on this one. Minus 105 and minus 176. I'm joining the public on the under. I'm fading them. Well, on the total, I'm fading them. I'm going under at minus 122. All right, Oakland versus Texas. Minus 192 spread for Oakland. I'm looking at the cost. Plus 104 money line for the Athletics. Minus 122 for the Rangers. So the Oakland is pretty much dead even. Let's see where the money is. Texas is getting, I'm joining the public on the money line. And let's see what the cost is for the A's. Minus 192. %. The only way I'm going with the Athletics is if it stays pretty much right where it is or above this minus 192 cost. But I'm going with the Rangers on ML, and I'm going over that 8.5. That minus 122 cost is critical. That even plus 100. The only way I'm going with that is if it joins negative 105, goes to that. That's the only way I'd go under. All right, Baltimore versus Colorado, minus 186 to plus 156. And the cost on the spread is minus 128. All right, let's see. 100% going with Baltimore. 100% going with Baltimore. 61% going with the under. Under 11. I am more than likely going over the 11 in this one on the total. However, on the money line and spread, I have to fade the public. I'm going with Colorado at home. 100% is just too much. It's going to change, obviously. When the sharps go in, the sharps are the heavy bettors. It's going to change. But I'm going with the home team across the board under 11 in this one. Or over 11, excuse me, over 11. I'm going over 11 in this one. Miami versus San Francisco. San Francisco, huge favorites. Minus 270, plus 220 for the Marlins. And the spread for Miami is at that minus 105. Let's see. Only 8% going with that. 92% going with San Francisco on the spread. 97% of the money going with San Francisco on the money line. I'm joining the public here. Well, let's see. The only way I'm going with San Francisco on the spread, the only way I'm going with them on the spread is if their cost increases. The only way. Even if it increases to minus 115. I'm going with San Francisco only in that case. In any other case, I'm going with Miami on the spread. San Francisco on the ML, and I'm going with the under at that minus 124 cost with only 44% going with them. So I'm going under. Let's go to the next one. Scroll up. All right. Seattle versus LA Angels. Minus 158 to plus 134. Let's see where they started. All right, so it's basically the same, minus 159 to plus 134. That's why I haven't gone over these opening odds. They're pretty much about the same as where they are now, where the odds are currently. Minus 158 at 12% of the money. That's crazy. But they're getting 89% of the... So people looking to cash out in this one. The bookies are way ahead of that. So I'll go with Seattle in this one. 98% going with Seattle on the ML. And I would fade them on that. I would go with the Angels across the board, the home team across the board. And the only way I would go... Well, let's see. The total... I'm joining the public. I'm going under at that 76%. I'm going under 9. All right, LA Dodgers versus the Arizona Diamondbacks, minus 104. And ignore that internet connection warning. We're good on that. Minus 104 to minus 112 for the Diamondbacks, minus 112, minus 104 for the Dodgers. Minus 176 cost for Arizona. Let's see where the money is. 39% going with Arizona, 73% going with LA Dodgers in this one. Now, despite being more of a favorite, the Diamondbacks are an underdog in this one, a rare occurrence. So, 73% of the money going with the minus 104 Dodgers. The only way I'm going with the Diamondbacks on the money line is if their cost increases at all by the time the opening pitch happens. The only way I'm going with Arizona is if their cost increases at the time of the opening pitch. If that's not the case, then I'm going with the Dodgers. I'm going with the Dodgers in a vacuum. And I'm going with the Diamondbacks on the spread. And I'm going under 9. I'm going under 9 in that one. Let's see where that money is going. Yeah, I'm fading the public in that one. I'm going under 9. Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves versus the, let's scroll back up, Philadelphia Phillies. All right, plus 116 to minus 136, minus 178 for Atlanta on the spread as an underdog. Let's see where the money is going. 74% going with Atlanta, 87% going with Philadelphia on the money line, and the under is getting 66%. I'm joining the public. I'm going under that 9 in this one. I'm joining the public. As far as the ML and the spread, I'm going with Atlanta across the board. I'm going with Atlanta in this one. What are the opening odds saying? Let me scroll back up. Plus 116 to minus 137. Okay, so yeah, see, as I stated, it's about even across the board, which is why I didn't go over the opening odds. But yeah, these are my current picks for today. Join the Patreon. Link is in the description. Pray every day. I've been Scott. I will just see you in the next video, and also check the Bitcoin video as well. I'll see you guys later. You guys take care.